Life is a winding road.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you see, I'm at a very unusual spot today. Today is July 6th and today is, dang, I just started talking. And today is the 4-year anniversary of my daughter's passing. So I am currently at her grave. I don't really make it a habit of coming here, not because I think it's bad or unhealthy or anything like that. For me personally, it's not a way that I grieve, and it's not a way that brings me peace or brings me comfort. I did a completely different video on what I do to keep my daughter's memory alive, and I tried to just focus on celebrating the time that we did have with her versus always just being stuck in the mourning her death part. Because if not, I would never get out of it. I would basically just stay in the depression that I was after it happened. But I thank God that he was able to see me out of that, and I was able to find and focus on joy in life and not just focus on her death. But in honor of the 4-year anniversary of her passing, I wanted to do an updated video on how I am, how I'm feeling, where is my current mind at right now. I honestly wish I would have done a video every year about this, or at least did notes or a memory or something for me to look back on to see what has happened every single year, and if I've progressed, if I've went backwards. I'm kind of curious to see how that went, because I feel like there's been multiple times and multiple moments where I have taken steps backwards instead of moving forward. But I just want to focus on today and how I'm currently feeling right now. So as most of you guys know by now, my daughter Ariya, our firstborn, she passed away from septic shock due to Group B Strep infection. Group B Strep is an infection that happens in 1 out of 4 pregnant women. It's not something that's contagious and you can get that way. It's a bacteria that just so happens to build up in the woman's birth canal. That's why here in the US, at least, it is mandatory to get tested at 37 weeks. In other countries, unfortunately, it is not. So infant deaths by the cause of Group B Strep are a lot more common in other countries. At least here in the US, knowing prior to going into labor if you're positive or not definitely helps the chances of the baby not getting the infection through doses of penicillin. Unfortunately for me, I did get 5 doses of penicillin and baby still got it, and it was basically chalked up to the fact that my water had been broken for about 7 to 8 hours before I realized it. It wasn't like a gush of water, it was just little trickles, and I thought that, I don't know, I was peeing myself or something. You get a lot of discharge at the end of your pregnancy. Sorry for that detail, but that's what I thought it was, and I didn't know. So just spreading awareness that if you believe your water has broken, lay down for 5 minutes and then stand right back up. And if you feel something come out of you immediately, that means your water has broken, and go to the doctor right away. I'm sure a lot of grieving parents will tell you that during the holidays is usually the hardest because you're thinking about what you're missing with that child. As you guys know, I share my life very openly here on YouTube, and I share the good and the bad moments. I share all my frustrations when I get annoyed by my kids, when I'm very overwhelmed and I get extremely stressed out, when I need a break. I share all of those moments because that's a reality. I went from being a full-time working mom to being a full-time stay-at-home mom, and that adjustment was very hard to me and is still very hard on me, and that's why I've tried to pursue other ways to make an income and other ways to distract myself, to be out of the house, and to do other things to keep my mind sane so that I'm not doing the same exact thing every single day. If something comes out of them woods, I am running and I'm leaving you guys behind, just saying. But honestly, every single time that my kids do something, my daughter just started walking yesterday, and every time honestly, every single time I look at her, it reminds me a lot of Ariya, because when Melena's sleeping, she looks just like Ariya. I seen Ariya more with her eyes closed than I did with her eyes open. So that's just a vivid memory that I have in my mind. So whenever Melena's sleeping, she looks identical to Ariya. So it's always a nice memory because I get to, for a second, I forget who I'm looking at, and that's always a nice memory to have. But whenever my kids do a new milestone, I think of all the milestones that we're gonna miss with Ariya, that we're never gonna have with her. And you guys know from my last video of when I did the review, when I did the comparison of that Starling movie, that I felt at that time, and I still still kind of sort of feel it was some kind of sick joke. Like, why allow me to be pregnant all 40 weeks, have a baby shower, have the baby's room ready, go through 18 hours of labor, deliver the baby vaginally, have that whole experience just for her to die. And just for her to die, and just for like the motherhood to kind of just be stripped from me before it actually really began. Like, even though I have made my peace with that, I have, you know, let go of all types of anger and resentment that I felt at that moment towards God. I let all that go. It just still sucks, because it's like why did that have to happen? And why did it have to be something that is like so extremely rare? It's like, of course something like that would happen out of the blue that is so extremely rare for babies to die from. Like, of course. That's definitely something that's still, you know, that's still on my mind. Like I said, I don't really come here. It doesn't really bring me any peace being here. But she does have some goodies on her stone right now from my husband's aunts who came. Dropped by a couple 4th of July goodies and birthday goodies and stuff for her. But usually on her birthday, I always try to focus on the positive, and I don't like coming here. I especially don't like coming here on her birthday, because I try to just focus on the good, not the bad. But I have made a habit of coming on the anniversary of her death, so I guess that's a tradition. I think I only brought Zeke here a couple of times. I don't even remember the last time I was here. I don't even remember the last time I brought him here. I don't know. I feel like eventually we will talk to the kids when they're old enough, and we will, you know, let them know about her, and they can do their own type of, you know, traditions or in remembrance things for her. But for now, every year on her birthday, we're just going to continue lighting up a firework for her. We did this past weekend. My cousin was so nice to have gotten the same pink fireworks that we used for her gender reveal, and she brought them, so we were able to light up the sky in pink in honor of Ariya for her birthday. And then we just sang her happy birthday. We blew out a candle and we let go of some balloons, something very small, but I was so happy with the outcome of how many people were able to show up, how much family was able to show up in that moment to just honor her and celebrate her, even if it was for only like an hour or two. I feel like it's very, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's very easy for me to just push it aside and just kind of, I want to say forget, but I feel like that seems like a very harsh word, but honestly that's like the only word I can think of right now. Is I just try to not think about it and forget, and just push it out of my mind, and I'll only think of her in like a good remembrance. But if anything negative comes to mind, I just kind of like just push it out, and then I just stop thinking about her, and I'm like, all right, I don't want to go there, so I just stop thinking about her, because if I do, then I will go down a rabbit hole, and to get me out of it, it takes a lot of patience and dedication from my husband to like snap me out of it. It's been definitely an interesting experience for the first time not having postpartum depression with Milena, which was very shocking considering I had a lot of new stuff that happened to me, getting unemployed, being a stay-at-home mom, not working at all, and it was just kind of, I had a lot of stuff that happened to me all at once that I thought that I was going to fall back into postpartum depression again, but I didn't. Other than that, I think it's looking up. I think time has definitely helped as far as like me not breaking down every second and every time that I mention her, talk about her. And I do like talking about her. I'm perfectly fine talking about her because I just try to focus on the good times. And if I am telling somebody about group B strep, then I try to focus on just bringing awareness versus, you know, her death. Well, I'm gonna get going because if I stay here any longer, I probably will have another, you know, breakdown, and I'm trying to keep myself together right now. So thank you guys for listening. As always, I appreciate love and support, and I'll see you guys in my next video.